Hello everybody and welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we are live for the Odyssians 120, and we'll get your actual picture up here in just a few moments. Apparently having a few technical difficulties all of a sudden. But aside from that, however, this week's race, of course, is sponsored by the Odyssians, and of course some information, I believe they're UK based as well, so that would be my assumption at least. I'm not 100% sure on that, but nonetheless though, a little bit of information about them is that they are an adventure camping holiday for adults with disabilities, and they're always looking for helpers. Their next camping holiday, if you will, is on August 24th to August 31st next year in 2019, and details are over at Odyssians.com. So I'd like to thank them for coming on board to sponsor this week's race, and definitely check them out. Browse their site, at least the main homepage, and it's very, very interesting actually. So definitely help them out. Of course, there's an option to donate to them if you want to over on their site. It's always good to give some kind of a helping hand as well, so at least share it around if you can, as pretty sure more than likely many people will be very interested in that. So as we're still working on getting the picture up and reset here, qualifying is underway, but while we fix everything over on this end, we'll take a look at the point standings for now. There they are up on your screen. Last week, I'm doing this again. I had it last week, and now I don't. Reese Saunders had the win last week. Goodness gracious. 2 weeks in a row he has won, and 2 weeks in a row we have went caution-free. Never getting his name right, I swear. I'm never going to get any of the names for Reese right, and I'm not seeing the other Reese. Now there's Reese Saunders. Be a Hardwick that I am currently not seeing, so hopefully he'll be able to make it in time. So we'll do an old reset of the screen, and we'll see if we can get everything working once again. And we should be able to, just for some reason it's not appearing like it should be. It's very strange, but we do have enough time, 5 minutes 25 seconds remaining in qualifying. Your current top three are Ian Cornish, Carl Heiss, and Reese Saunders. That's as of right then. Of course, while we wait, the next race will be at Iowa Speedway, and the last race broadcast for the MTR series, at least over here, for a while. So definitely going to be interesting to see what happens heading into the fourth week, as going to be taking a small break to gear up for Rockingham. More information on that will be coming shortly, as we're going to not really take a break, but I'm going to go silent for a while as trying to get everything sorted out here. So when the picture comes up, then I will be back here in just a few moments' time. Alright, and it looks like we finally have everything reset. So, picture coming up in just a few moments. And of course, as always, I am, of course, the one and only Gary Weaver, bringing you this 80-lap race here this afternoon. So, one final look at the point standings, as we have Reese Saunders, of course, on the pole, Ian Cornish in second, only 7 points behind, 8 points behind, well, 1 point behind, rather, Ian Cornish is Doug Pickering. Also tied is Nigel De Jong, who is technically in fourth, but tied for third nonetheless. Josh Wong rounds out the 5th place position, and then we have Redford, Jarrett, and Rex are the main two drivers that have gained a lot of positions recently. So that's as of last week, as well as of Michigan. So, of course, some information about this week's race. As qualifying is still underway, we should probably change that a bit. There we go. Some information about the races, past races here. Well, we have a long list of people who led at least up to 315 laps total, all the way down to 1 lap. So get ready, because we have a lot of people. We have Ian Cornish, Matthew Dalton, Nigel De Jong, Richard Wild. We also have, I believe, he's only raced 5 races, as well as Stuart Dick with 54 laps led, and it's just a whole bunch of people. In fact, I don't think it's tempting to go through how many drivers total, so we'll count that up and get back to everybody on that. Ian Cornish has had 5 pole positions here, 3 race wins as well. Reese Saunders has also won here in the past at least once. And again, this is the 12th visit here for the MTR series. Oh, and of course, it also has never been caution-free within the past 11 races. So, no pressure to the drivers out there to get 3 caution-free races in a row. And 22 drivers total have led at least from 1 to 315 laps total. Goodness gracious, that is a lot of people. Most points here is by Ian Cornish with 386 points within 11 races. And then John Jarrett, the league owner, also 11 races with 352 points. Well, at the moment, Ian Cornish is, of course, on tap for that pole position bonus point. And since there are 7 seconds remaining, it doesn't look like anybody else will be able to shove Ian Cornish off of that pole position. Well, as we had a bit of a technical issue with the driver's audio there for a moment, going to go down your starting grid here for the Odyssians 120 here at Charlotte Moore Speedway. Let's get started. On the front row, we have Ian Cornish in the number 81. Starting to his outside is Carl Heiss. Carl Heiss in the number 96. Starting in the second row will be Reese Saunders in third in the number 91. Two race wins in a row as well, as he starts behind, or at least he starts beside, Josh Wong in the number 27. Doug Pickering in position number 5 starts in the number 2 machine. Nigel De Jong starts in 6th in the number 41. Mark Redford starts 7th in the 31. 8th place goes to Jamie Sawyer in the number 46. And then running out the top 10 will be both Simon Marshall in the 15 and Stuart Pumphrey in the 36. And then heading through the rest of the field, we have Lane O'Connor and Jonathan Rex in the 8 and the 20, respectively. Next up in row number 7 is John Jarrett in the 59, and Chris Bourne, who is outside in the 14th place position in the number 79. And unfortunately for John, he is in the unlucky number 13th place position. Michael Jones in the 666 starts in 15th, and then the 404 of Andrew Bullock starts in 16th. So it's the row of triple-digit car numbers. And then we have Jake Forrester and Lance Simon starting 17th and 18th. Daniel Beckett starts 19th. Mike Robertson starts in 20th. And I believe that is it, and it is for your 20-car field. And not sure, but I believe somebody may be starting in pit road. Not too sure about that as of right now. We're taking a look through pit road, and yep, it's the number 2 of Doug Pickering. Saw somebody missing, and unfortunately for Pickering, he will be starting in pit road in the, is that the Hazy Signs? Yeah, the Hazy Signs Chevy Silverado. You can see the raceway here, the new video promo player playing over on the giant TV screen on the back straightaway as the field goes by. And we will soon be going green here in just a few moments' time. We're going to be brought to you by the Odyssians. And the green is going to be in control of Ian Cornish once he pulls off of pit road. Pace car getting ready to pull off. Hard left-hand turn, field in control of the 81. He is down and away. Green flag is out. 80 laps here at Charlotte, and we are underway as Ian Cornish already heads straight down into turns 1 and 2. A great start right off the bat there, as we now have 2 drivers battling side by side, multiple rows back. You almost saw the 96. Saw the 96 try to side draft Saunders off turn number 2. That didn't work out. De Jong is already trying to make a move on the inside lane. Doesn't work out though as his momentum stalls out. Ian Cornish leads the first lap as Josh Wong now currently in the 5th place position, trying to hold off that 31, but also trying to get by that number 27, that number 41. Coming off turn number 2, Josh Wong still trying to power through on that outside. It's not working for the time being, but Mark Redford has a great view of this out in front of him. Still trying to power up past on the outside. It's 27. Wow, you saw how close that was off turn number 2. Goodness gracious. Josh Wong's probably trying to turn that wheel as hard as to the left as he could. It's now, for the most part, looks like everybody could be single filed. Battle for 12th place as Jonathan Rex is on the top side as Jake Forrester in the 44 gets by on the inside lane just enough at the start-finish line to get position at number 12. Michael Jones also with a good view of this, but that 20 of Rex falters back ever so slightly on the top side, so that means Jake Forrester may be powering through on the inside, and he'll get by for position at number 12. Side-by-side battle in the back again. You can see in the background between that 41 and the 27. This time Nigel De Jong takes the top side, gets around Josh Wong in the 27. A little bit of a battle in the back as well, as the 46 of Jamie Sawyer was to the outside. I think he got into the wall as well, just coming off of turn number 2. Stuart Pomfrey now slides up a little bit. That's going to get Lane O'Connor in the 8, and the 59 of John Jarrett caught up. So this is going to be, wow, goodness gracious. That was a very close call from the 36 there. That's going to bring these two and make this a 4-car battle for 8th place. There isn't really such thing as a dominant line at this raceway. Now, preferably it could be the inside, but also right where that number 8 is running is also another preferred line. Jamie Sawyer's going to fall back ever so slightly. Everyone's going to be scrambling. There we go. 46 of Sawyer saves it as he was sideways off turn number 4. Through the grass goes, I believe that's the 36 of Pomfrey, and it is. Great save by that number 36 of Pomfrey. Had to go through the grass, and that was almost a 4-wide situation there. Replay coming up on your screen in just a few moments' time. We'll see that again coming off of turn number 4. A little bit of contact. 36 goes through the John Jarrett. Somehow manages to make it through. We'll take one more look at this from the onboard view of that number 59 machine, because my goodness, that if that wasn't close, I have absolutely no idea what is. One more look here from the number 59, as Cornish still leads by about half a second in real time. That is absolutely amazing. We mentioned that we almost went, that this is the first race that could be going caution free. We're not too sure about that as of yet, so for the time being, though, for now at 10 laps across the line, we have been caution free for that amount of time. So we're on the right track. 10 laps down, 70 laps to go. Battle between Michael Jones and Daniel Beckett for position number 11. Jones really slid up the racetrack there off turn number 4. That won't give him the position. So Beckett comes away with position 11 for the time being. Jonathan Rex in the 20 rounds out the top 10. And battling side by side once again in turns 1 and 2. Actually, for the first time, rather, it's going to be Carl Hayes and Nigel De Jong. Both of these drivers are pretty familiar with each other after the first race at Las Vegas. As well, currently it's 3rd and 4th for De Jong and Hayes, respectively. That's basically the positions they finished 2nd and 3rd, essentially, at Vegas. Coming 2nd and 3rd to this driver, the number 91 of Reese Saunders. And Ian Cornish last week almost came away with a win. I believe it was Ian Cornish, and it was, as he ran out of fuel coming off of turn number 2 on the back straightaway at Michigan. So unfortunately, instead of finishing 1st, he finished in 5th. So hopefully his fuel strategy is a little bit more adaptive for this weekend. He knows how much to fill it. He knows how much to fill that truck up to, so he makes it to the end. Taking a break, at least a commentary break at lap 25, maybe a commercial break if not sooner, depending on any cautions, if that does happen. Big if, and hello 3 wide. I saw a bit of a change, and I'm glad I looked because, well, the 79 rather is trying to hold off the 36 of Pomfrey who fell back, and the 46 of Jamie Sawyer. This is all battle for 15th in the back. And also another battle between Jones and Rex. Just riding behind is the 44 of Jake Forrest. We have battles all over the raceway now. This is looking at the battle between 15th and 16th. Between the 79 of Chris Bourne and the 36 of Pomfrey. Pomfrey on the inside. Look at that run that Sawyer gets in the middle of the corner. Right back on board Jake Forrester, and just in time as a little bit of contact almost happened between Beckett and Rex. This is for position number 10 as well. Redford and Heights battling far up ahead for position at number 5 as well. Side by side down the back straightaway they go. This is battle for 4th place as they head down into turns 3 and 4, coming to complete lap number 18 for their laps, as Beckett and Rex are still side by side. Now this is going to be a 4-car battle. Just up ahead of them is Lane O'Connor and John Jarrett, 8 and 59 respectively. And looks like this battle has sorted itself out for the time being. Back up to position number 5, or battle for P4. That battle has also sorted itself out for the time being. Heading back to position 15. Well, they're still battling. Chris Bourne on the top side and 79. Goodness. As the 36 of Pomfrey gets by on the inside to claim that 15th spot at the line. With 61 laps to go in this race. National Dijon starting to catch up, and a little bit of a driver comparison for their lap times. We still have time before, well, that's the wrong drivers. There we go. Reese Saunders, the 31.8, Dijon with the 31.7, essentially 1/10 faster. And look at that line that Reese took entering the corner. That was a bit too close to the wall, and I don't know about you viewers at home, but oh man, this is gonna get pretty interesting. So we'll stick with this battle for the next 3 or so laps before we take a full break. We're gonna have to make a few adjustments to some cameras around the raceway, but we will update you on anything that does happen after the break. So you won't really miss anything, but nonetheless, though, still side by side for now, or at least attempting to go side by side, as Dijon tries to get to the inside of Saunders. It's not working for the time being. And of course, right when I say that, there he goes to the inside. Who has the momentum off the corner is the question. Side by side for now looks to be Saunders. Dijon taking the low line and Saunders taking the very top line instead of the middle lane. At the line, Dijon in second, 3rd place Saunders. And it looks like Dijon may come up with, well, bump draft down the back straightaway from Saunders. Of course, while that doesn't exactly help for the driver in front, it does help for the driver that bump drafts them, because it could give them a bit too much momentum. So that could essentially send them up the racetrack without bumping them. The 91 is all over that back bumper. But for the time being, as Saunders unfortunately falls off the pace. Ian Cornish is currently leading here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we will be taking a quick break again to adjust some cameras around the raceway. You won't really miss anything. If a caution does come out, we will come back as soon as possible. Lap number 26 is starting, as this race will continue under green for the time being. This is the Odyssians 120, brought to you by My Turn Racing. Or at least, yeah, pretty much. The Odyssians 120 brought to you by My Turn Racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And right when we say that, well, there is the caution that we are talking about. First caution. And so much for, looks like it's to be the 2 of Doug Pickering. Goodness gracious, what happened to him? We must have spun out in turns 1 and 2. We'll see. Pickering in the 46 of Sawyer. This is for position. And, oh man, just came up the racetrack way too quick. Way too quick. Much of a missed time as well. That sent Sawyer through the grass as well. You can see Sawyer's also running the Odyssians sponsorship on the car. Very unfortunate for that number 46. We'll take another look as well. And yeah, definitely just came off the racetrack way too quick for the number 2 of Pickering, as drivers are now back under caution. At least now caught to the pace car, rather, as Pickering gets that vehicle back going, and everyone's already in pit road, so we'll see how everyone shakes out for now as we head back live. Drivers exiting their pit stalls. Cornish out first. Second, 31, 27, 59. At the 15, I believe. Yes, it is. Simon Marshall also off pit road. So now that we actually do have time to take a break and not really miss anything, we will be right back here in just a few moments' time as we are under caution for the first time here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We are back under green a lot earlier than anticipated, actually. So Ian Cornish is currently in the lead right now. Mark Redford in second, Josh Wong third, John Jarrett fourth, and fifth place is Daniel Beckett. So Apologies for that somehow. I'm green a lot later, but it is understandable as we didn't really have any, this didn't have any lap cars, so. Down the back straightaway goes the field. Thankfully, we didn't really miss much as we have a lot of battles down the back straightaway into turns 1 and 2. And right now, the 36 of Stuart Pomfrey is trying to get by, at least to the inside of Jonathan Rex for the time being. Reese Saunders now over back in 12th place position. He does have a little bit of front end damage. Possibly from pit road. We haven't seen that prior, so unfortunately for the 91, he may not get his 3rd race win in a row. Josh Wong now, well, look at Mark Redford taking the defensive line, the inside lane as well. All over that back bumper is going to be that number 27. Trying to get to the inside. He'll hold himself up this time by, so Josh Wong stuck in 3rd. Mark Redford defending 2nd place as Cornish is currently running away with that 1st place position, at least for, again, the time being. Jonathan Rex right now trying to defend himself against Nigel De Jong in the 41. And side-by-side battle in the back, that's Carl Heiss on the inside. Going to get by the 8 of Lane O'Connor through turns 3 and 4 for position at number 13. Oh man, that 41 was really on that apron there in turns 1 and 2. We saw it from that camera angle. Thought he was going to step out, unfortunately, lose some sort of traction, but thankfully, De Jong didn't, and, well, unfortunately for Rex, he's going to enter a bit too high in the corner, but still hangs on the exit. Trying to hold on to that 8th place position, but De Jong will get past on the inside. And the battle just up ahead. 666 of Michael Jones trying to get by the 23 of Daniel Beckett. Not going to work again, so this is for position number 5 once again. And, well, John Jarrett has found himself up in the top 5. And Jones loses some momentum. He'll fall in front of Jake Forrester to the inside. Goes to the 44. And can he pull off this 6th place position? They believe making a little bit of contact. That was definitely some close racing. There goes the 59 as John Jarrett looks to the inside in the corner. Can't get it done. 2 drivers may have overshot ever so slightly, the 23 and 44, but they will stay out both in front of Michael Jones. Just in the back is Reese Saunders in the number 91. He'll get by the 15 of Simon Marshall. And throughout all of this, Ian Cornish has been in the lead this entire time. Catching up to a lap car, it's the 46 of Jamie Sawyer. We'll take a look at him to make sure he gets past safely. As you can see the rest of the field just in the background there. And Doug Pickering, unfortunately, I believe is out of this race. And he is, from that wreck, the first caution as well, over on lap number 26. And here comes a whole slew of cars, 3 wide for a moment. Jones got forced out to the inside a little bit more than needed, a little bit more than he wanted to. This is a huge cluster of drivers. 3 wide in the back there. There goes De Jong into the outside wall, unfortunately. Will he save it, though? No, he won't. He goes around. Second caution. Oh, no, it's a 79 as well. Chris Bourne heavy into the inside wall, back up onto the raceway. Caution is out for the second time here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Replay currently up. You can see the 41 666 Jones comes up the track, barely touches the 41, who gets heavily into the inside wall. And here comes Chris Bourne driving through, and oh gosh. And that 54 though, Mike Robertson, he also spun out afterwards to keep it off the wall. Looks like he did. Goodness. Great job by that 54 to hold it up there. So he essentially had two incidents, both at once. We'll take a ride on board with the 56. Oh man, that was a very close call. So drivers in pit road for the time being, just now entering pit road actually. So we'll see who does what in the event of their choosing. As unfortunately De Jong is one lap down. Same with the 79 of Chris Bourne, who is 2 laps down. And somebody's already down and away. That's the 59. That's the 59 John Jarrett. Did he even hit his pit stall? I don't think he even hit his pit stall. Maybe he overshot it. I'm not sure. Maybe just a quick fuel and go. But Cornish, 31 of Redford. Josh Wong is also out. Oh man, 15 barely edged out the 36 there at the exit of the pit road. Not sure if the 59 of Jarrett took any tires. Well, we'll see here. Into his pit stall. And he just took a quick gas and go. Maybe a tear off. But he definitely didn't take tires, which is very, very interesting. And, okay, never mind. Yeah, here he comes back to pit road, actually. So a little bit of a miscommunication by his pit crew, unfortunately. We'll take a look at the lights on the pace car here, as they will stay on for the time being. Well, we'll see if we can get anybody in here for a quick interview. Probably Ian Cornish. Let's see if we can get the number 81 in here on the radio. Ian Cornish, you have a copy on this?
Yeah, I'm here, Gary.
Well, so far you've been very dominant in this race, and well, congratulations on that. What's your strategy been so far, and how's the track feeling for Charlotte, since it definitely is a very late afternoon here?
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of grip here, so the truck's pretty tight. You just got to be careful getting back into it, or else you're going straight up to the wall. But in terms of strategy, haven't really had one yet, because everybody else seems intent on sort of killing themselves. So I'm just trying to run my race and log some laps.
Hold on a second. There we go. Well, you're definitely doing a very good job. We see the lights on the pace car are out, so we're going to go ahead and let you go. Good luck out there for the rest of this race.
Cheers, Gary. Take care.
So that was the 81 of Ian Cornish, and well, as you've heard from him, it's pretty easy for him, it seems. So hopefully he can keep up this momentum for the rest of this race, as he's got Mark Redford to his outside, Josh Wong right behind him, Jake Forrester in 4th, 5th place, Reese Saunders, who has finally actually made his way back up into the top 5 after getting shuffled out a few laps ago. Pace car once again getting ready to pull off as we are halfway past the halfway point in this race. Green flag getting ready to fly as Ian Cornish brings them down, and the green is back out. Already multiple drivers scrambling for position instantly after. Forrester trying to stay out to the outside of the 27 of Wong, but that will not work out. As he's got Reese Saunders to his inside, also battling. So this is essentially, what, a 4-car battle for second place now? 3-car battle for third. 27 is going to get held up. Heavy checkup from the 31 of Redford. Jake Forrester unfortunately has to check up. Redford not doing so well for the time being. And he'll come to the inside, and he'll get touched as the 31, goodness gracious. 44, Jake Forrester somehow made his way to the inside, and, well, Redford got sent up the racetrack. I don't think he even took tires on the restart or on the pit road pit stops. So Redford's automatically gotten sent back to 11th now, as Forrester made his way by. So right now it's a 2-car battle for second. Saunders trying to get to the inside of Josh Wong. Trying to get by Josh Wong on the inside at the very least. But for the time being, Cornish again with that massive lead. If you count 0.7 seconds of a gap as massive. For this track, it certainly looks like it, but right now, Saunders trying to catch up. It's not going to work, though. Remember, last week, Cornish ran out of fuel coming off turn number 2 at Michigan. Couldn't get the win, couldn't break the winning streak that the 91 currently has over 2 weeks. To the inside comes Daniel Beckett on the 666 of Michael Jones, and, well, ironically for Michael Jones, he's the 666 in position number 6, and live timing says otherwise, as he's currently in 5th. Right when I say that, see the ticker is currently switching around between those two. Now he's in 6th. There he goes. Stuart Pomfrey to the inside. Well, tried to get to the inside. Didn't have the momentum off turn number 4, turn number 2 rather. Down the back straightaway. Hello, number 15 is Simon Marshall. Jones still trying to get to the inside. I don't think Jones wants to have all 6s as... My goodness. Well, unfortunately, Jones going to be falling back to the inside, and, well, he's currently in 8th place now per live timing and scoring. Per start finish line, he's probably 5th or 6th. For the time being, Ian Cornish out first. Reese Saunders up in 2nd. 3rd place is Josh Wong. 4th place, Jake Forrester. The 44 is in 4th. And so we have a brewing battle for position number 5. Carl Haas to the outside. Daniel Beckett lets him take to the outside. And that's 7 laps ever since the restart. 6 to 7 laps has gone by very quickly as we have 30 laps to go. 29 when we cross the start-finish line this time around. And the battle in the back as Jones trying to stay in position number 9. Pomfrey is in 8th. He'll attack for that position. Entering turns 1 and 2 to the inside. A little bit of damage, it seems, on the front bumper. Right front, it seems, ever so slightly on the number 666 of Jones. Pomfrey in the 36. Marshall on the top side. Marshall actually riding behind them. That's Redford in the 31. Simon Marshall has a fun view of this, as somebody may have blown an engine up ahead. Not sure who, but nonetheless, Josh Wong has somehow gotten by Reese Saunders. Here comes Forrester to the inside. We've seen Forrester up in the top 5 a few times, top 10 even, but not a lot for him to make a name for himself as of the past 2 weeks. So Forrester wants to get out of 4th place position. He's riding on top of that back bumper, and goodness gracious. Well, unfortunately for Saunders, look at that bump draft. down through the tri-oval by that 44, trying to loosen up this 91 of Saunders. Jake Forrester, we've seen him a few times here and there, but we haven't seen him this close in the top 3. I believe he is in the top 3, though, a few times. He may have a shot at staying in the top 3 if he can get by the 91 of Saunders, who has acquired a little bit of damage on that right front. You can see there. Top side by the 44 doesn't work. He'll back off. Well, it looks like Jake Forrester doesn't have the momentum for the time being, but he does have 25 more laps, and so does Ian Cornish. Looking through the field, possibly this could be the closest battle. Simon Marshall, 15th. There's John Jarrett, who got a little bit of a windshield tear off and then pitted for tires. His next stop under the last caution that we've had. Marshall in the number 15 position. At number 12, Lane O'Connor right behind. So is Robertson, who spun out earlier in the first caution, actually, avoiding the first wreck. Avoided the wall here in turns 1 and 2 somehow. So props to him for still being able to continue to run this race. As well, drivers that are out of our 20-car field, we have Pickering that is out. Chris Bourne is out. Nigel DeJong is also out. Jamie Sawyer currently sits in pit road repairing his car. We'll go through the entire field with 20 laps to go. As well, Saunders trying to hold off Forrester again for the time being, and he does so successfully this time around, but 44 to the inside off turn number 2 is a possibility. Bump draft down the back straightaway. On top of that back bumper. Look at that. Down the pretty much the entire back straightaway as well. Forrester takes to the middle lane, trying to get literally around the 96 who protects that position. He gets bumped out of the way, clips the grass. That's going to give the outside lane to Forrester, but still barely holding position as they almost made contact with the wall and the wall and each other. Forrester is desperate to get around to the top 3, and he can't get it. He'll have to back off because he almost hit the outside wall coming off turn number 2. You saw that 44 bobble just a little bit, trying to stay in between and not make any contact with Saunders and the wall itself. This is going to be a very interesting battle come these closing laps. But for now, John Jarrett, well, Daniel Beckett actually, is currently 9th. All these drivers battling for a position. Daniel Beckett's 9th. 10th place. Well, here comes Marshall down to the inside for that 10th place. Side by side, literally even through the corners that time around. Jake Forrester, though, still trying to attack. 19 and a half laps to go. Forrester finally gets to the inside, decides against it. I think he wants to fill that mirror up and pressure that number 91 of Saunders. Staying in second this whole time has been Josh Wong as well. And to the outside, finally forcing his way to the outside. He almost makes contact with the 91. Finally, Forrester gets to the outside. Can't get it done, though. Entering turns 1 and 2. Although he could get it done off of turn number 2. Can he? Will he move to the inside? He almost does. Hello, goodness. That was very, very lucky by both of those drivers. That none of them didn't get turned. But finally, Forrester gets to the inside. Probably not his preferred lane, but he'll stick with it for the time being. Down the front straightaway into turns 1 and 2 after they exit the quad over here. That 44 is sick of being in 4th. He wants to get up into a podium finish as quick as possible. Carl Heiss in the background there, watching this battle unfold in front of him. Still even between both of these drivers. You see the 91 pull away ever so slightly. Lap times between these two, up to 31.9 for each of these drivers, and Forrester was about 100th slower, 100th slower, 0.01 seconds. That's just as a rough estimate as well. Oh, goodness. Wow. All right, then. That was, I think Forrester tried to get to the back bumper, but that didn't work out. He almost turned Saunders down the back straightaway. And they almost make contact again, exiting turn number 4. Side by side, still battling. This is for position number 3, no less. You'd think battling like this would be for the lead. 15 laps to go, and Ian Cornish is just casually relaxing. Same with Josh Wong. And, well, looks like, unfortunately, we'll take a look at that pass as, well, Saunders has finally gotten passed by Forrester. Let's take a look at this one more time. I saw the beginning of this pass, and it looks like Saunders just unfortunately got out of the groove and barely made contact with the outside wall. But for now, Jake Forrester holding his own in position at number 3. Finally made his way by the damaged right front car of Saunders. Carl Hayes finally catching up to the number 91, who has been dominant the past 2 weeks. Other battles going around the raceway. Well, right now we have Lane O'Connor trying to get to the inside of the 59er John Jarrett. This is for position at number 9 as well. Oh man, the sliding up. These tires definitely starting to play into effect right now. As O'Connor finally gets his way by Jarrett. But Daniel Beckett is not far behind. He's been running around the top 10, at least the ending of the top 10, so this is pretty much a normal position for the 23, about average, I believe. You see the 59 trying to make an advance in position. That won't work out, however. A little bit of a brewing battle for position 11 as the 54 Robertson comes around to the outside. The 23 of Beckett. He'll right now fly by that 23. Robertson advances 1 position. And side by side, Forrester very, very slow. Here comes the 31 of Redford powering through. We missed a lot, unfortunately, looking through, giving the backpack giving the back of the field a little bit of more TV time. But Redford has powered his way through the 3rd. And here comes Saunders now down to the inside. Forrester shuffled from 3rd to 5th. Carl Hayes got passed by Jonathan Rex, but currently side by side, Saunders gets by the 31 of Redford. If we had split screen, we'd use it. So the question is, can Jake Forrester get back up into the top 3? He made it once, but can he do it again? His tires may be shot at this point. But now Saunders is under fire from Redford. Josh Wong may be falling off the pace ever so slightly. Oh, a little bit of a bobble through the grass. Goes the 91 of Saunders twice again. Goes up on his wheels. And he somehow has only lost 1 position out of that. Saunders with a very close call, but Jake Forrester is not too far behind. He does have a little bit of right front damage. That could be why he can't find that momentum now. Again, throughout all of this, Ian Cornish has been leading pretty much every single lap of this race. We'll give an official number by the ending and how many laps everybody has led. So Ian Cornish has 7 more laps to go. Josh Wong 6 seconds behind and gaining as well, or losing in his case. But Redford not too far behind. You can see him put his left side tires on that white line on the inside. Through turns 1 and 2, he'll dive down to the inside. He almost did. He looked for it. Probably trying to see if the 27 will make a move to protect that second place position. Here comes Redford now. At the line, it was a 27, and that was just by eye, no less. I'll see officially, that was definitely Redford. Actually, no, that was Josh Wong. Apologies for that. Although we do have this, takes up less space. And yeah, it was a 27 at the line by 0.011 seconds. This time, though, it will not be that gap. So Redford trying to the bobble from the 27. He will hang on to it for the time being, however, so bobble again, it seems, off turn number 4. 4 laps to go, rather, as Ian Cornish has a very sizable gap in this race. By how much? Well, I'll try 7.3 seconds, and still fluctuating for the time being. Closest battle on the track is position at number 9, as the 50 and the 54, 59 and 54. Battling side by side. Here comes Daniel Beckett again, flying up to the back bumper of the 54 Robertson. Small bump, it seems. Loosened up the 54 a bit. So Ian Cornish, does he have enough fuel is the question, because last week, again, ran out of fuel coming off of turn number 2 on the final lap, no less. So that was a very big upset. He did come home to finish at least 5th, I believe. But the thing is, for Cornish, he has to hope that he does have enough, and I'm pretty sure he's definitely double-checked his numbers to make sure that he does have enough to make it. Redford is in second. Reese Saunders, oh gosh, into the outside wall, went the 27. Keep an update on that battle as the final lap is now underway. From Ian Cornish. Can he break the 2-race winning hold, or stranglehold at least, that the 91 has set for the past 2 weeks in a row? Through turns 3 and 4, as the battle for 3rd is still ongoing. Off turn number 4, Ian Cornish has enough fuel to make it this time. He wins the Odyssians 120 at Charlotte Moore Speedway. Battle for 3rd place will go to the 91 of Saunders as Redford comes home in 2nd. 3rd place, Josh Wong. 4th place, Lane O'Connor, in a late race pass, it seems, from Stuart Pomfrey for 5th place. Oh boy. Oh, can he save it though? Can he save it? He saved it. Hit the outside wall, but he made it, though. Here's your top 4 at the line. The gap is the interval between each other, and there it is. A gap at the end of the race, 7.843 seconds. From 1st to 2nd, congratulations to the 81 of Ian Cornish. Again, interview with your top 3 in a few moments' time. He's going to tear up the landscaping, though. Nope, barely missed it. All right. And right when I say that. All right, just a little bit of crushing of the grass. But nonetheless, though, congratulations to the 81. And we will take a look at your finishing results officially as of this race. Ian Cornish has finished in first, second place. Mark Redford, third place. Reese Saunders. We'll get an interview with them in a few moments' time. Josh Wong in fourth, fifth place. Lane O'Connor. Stuart Pomfrey finishes in sixth. Seventh place, Jonathan Rex. Eighth place, Jake Forster, after getting up to third place at one point. Unfortunately, it does not, but he does come on with a top 10 finish. Mike Robertson finishes in the ninth place position. And then rounding out the top 10 will be Daniel Beckett. The last 20 drivers in this race, John Jarrett finishes 11th, Carl Hayes, Simon Marshall, Lance Simon, and Andrew Bullock finish 11th through 15th. And then drivers that have not finished are Michael Jones, Jamie Sawyer, Chris Bourne, Nigel DeJong, and Doug Pickering. So that will round out your 20-car field. We'll be right back with your top 3 drivers getting interviewed here after this. This is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network with the Odyssians 120 here for the My Turn Racing Truck Series. Don't go anywhere. Back here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we just finished a very, very exciting race where Ian Cornish has finally broken the stranglehold. As we'll get an interview with your top 3 here in a few moments' time. Just going to make sure that everyone is here. But congratulations to Ian Cornish. But on the bright side, though, for the number 91 of Saunders, he has still managed to come home with a third place win. So we'll get him in here in just a few moments. Reese Saunders, do you have us?
I do, loud and clear, Gary.
Well, congratulations on your third place finish for this week. Of course, more than likely didn't go as you had hoped, but you did still manage to come home with a third place finish. So notice that you may have had a little bit of a run-in with the outside wall as well, as you did have a little bit of damage on your right front. So walk us through your entire race and the track surface changing throughout it.
Well, my race was pretty much a disaster. I think the only good thing that happened in my race was that I finished third. Track surface wise, I didn't notice too much change. I was hoping the top had come in more than it did, but well, it didn't. But yeah, no, I had contact with Nigel on pit road. And then in, I think, the third run that we had, I mowed the wall down, coming off turn 4, not paying attention. And it gave me a bit of damage. And then there was a bit of panel beating with Jake. A bit of panel beating with Josh as well, I think, at some point. But now it was, the truck was a little bit battered, but still somehow got third.
Now, you did manage to come home third, so congratulations on that again. So, with the battle between Jake, I'm pretty sure you did not expect him to come flying through the field for those few amount of laps. So, what was your reaction to that?
Oh, it was. We stopped giving each other room. You start off working on give and take, and it just didn't seem to be there. So yeah, the elbows got out, and so I think I got a bit of a tap off Jake one of the laps. It sent me through the infield quite spectacularly, but kept in it, kept going, and it was all right. And then I think Jake had an issue with Josh, which I managed to capitalise from. So that's it. All's fair in love, war, and automobile racing.
Yeah, that's definitely usually how it is. So, what are your thoughts? What's your strategy heading into Iowa next week? As that is definitely going to be a pretty interesting race, as it's the shortest track, I believe, that we've went to so far this season.
Iowa's a favourite track of mine. I usually run quite well there. Usually have decent pace. There's a couple of different lines you can run in 3 and 4 as well, and there's different approaches to the entry to 1. So it's a really interesting racetrack, but because it is a short track, or maybe an intermediate oval, it's a short track. It is a bit of a bloodbath sometimes. So we'll see. May the strongest truck win.
May the strongest truck win indeed. So before we go ahead and let you go celebrate your third place finish, who would you like to give a shout out to for your third place finish here this week?
I'd like to apologise to Nigel because, so all's fair, love, war, and automobile racing, but turning someone on pit road because you've gone into the back of them is not cool. So sorry, buddy.
Well, since that is it, we're going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations again on finishing third.
Cheers. Thank you.
So possibly a little bit of rivalry brewing heading into next week. So before we actually, we're going to go ahead and start off with now your second place finisher. And that is the number 31 of Mark Redford. Mark Redford, do you have us?
Hello, Gary. I can hear you very well. Thank you.
Well, you somehow came up through the field and finished up in the second place position, and you started in 7th. So walk us through your race and how the track surface was.
Okay, well, the first stint I was just sitting behind the guys in front of me, really trying to save the tyres and hope that they come to me later on. And then we had a caution and it went a bit mad on the entry to the pits. Nigel got a tap, so I dived down low and managed to get through. And I think I picked up a place on the way into the pits, and then crew did a really good job. So I got out up in 2nd place. Next stint, it was, well, I knew I didn't really have the pace to keep with Ian, so I was just hoping to keep it going and try and hold it up there in a good place. And the truck was running well. I think it was Josh that was behind me on that stint, and he wasn't pushing me too hard, so it was quite nice to look after the tyres. And then I think there was another incident, not sure what caused that one, and pitted again, came out 2nd again. But on the restart, I messed up. I went too deep into 1, and I think we went 3 wide briefly. And I was trying to hold my place, and I think I might have not given Jake enough room, and he got into the side of me, and that sent me sideways. But I was quite proud of catching that one, actually, and dropped down to 11th. And then it was a matter of fighting my way back, trying not to use the tyres up too much, keeping a smooth arc. That went well. And then I think I was up in 5th and had another bit of luck with the guys in front of me having a bit of an incident. I think Jake got a bit loose and that got me up to third. And then I knew that Josh was struggling on tyres, that he was in the first stint, and yeah, I just managed to get past him for second place near the end. Yeah, very pleased with that.
I definitely had a very busy race, so coming home in second place is definitely a very great accomplishment. So heading into next week for Iowa, as it's one of the short tracks that we head to this season, what are your thoughts heading to that track?
I just think I need to go and find a line around there that works for me, and just try and stay clear of any incidents that will probably happen there. And hopefully I'll luck into another good finish.
And hopefully you will indeed luck into another podium finish. So, of course, before we let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your second place finish?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to my missus for letting me run on Sunday nights, and to all the team at Nest in the Woods, and thanks to the guys in the MTR Truck League for their good advice, and thank you to you, Gary, for your excellent broadcasts.
Well, definitely thank you for putting on an amazing show along with the other drivers here as well. So, going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations again on finishing second.
Thank you very much.
So that was the second place finisher, Mark Redford. And finally, we will now speak with the winner who has broken the stranglehold of Reese Saunders for the past 2 weeks, and that is the number 81 of Ian Cornish. And we'll get him in here in just a few moments' time. Just want to make sure that everything is all set, and it is. So let's get him in here. Ian Cornish, you have us.
Hi, can you hear me, Gary?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so, well, congratulations on your race win. You finally had enough fuel to make it to the end this week. So, adding along with that, plus the amazing run that you've had this race, what are your thoughts after this? Because you finished essentially runner-up, I believe, twice to Saunders, almost quite literally 2 weeks in a row. So, I'm pretty sure it's definitely a relief to finally come away with a win.
Yeah, it was nice to get the win. Get off the mark with a win for this season. I probably could have got one last week if I'd have remembered. Fortunately, it wasn't to be last week. But
yeah, not a lot of luck happened for you last week, but nonetheless, they did manage to play your cards right and strategize properly this time with enough fuel to make it to the end. So heading into Iowa next week, one of the short tracks that we have, I believe, on the schedule as well. I believe we have another one. But nonetheless, though, heading into Iowa next week, what are your thoughts for that race and your strategy for then?
see how it goes, I guess. I quite like Iowa. Tend to get some pretty decent racing there as well. Hopefully, the cautions and just have some good clean racing.
Yeah, good clean racing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, if it carries on like this season has done so far, the race.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting race, especially, like you said, especially since it's carried on so far for the time being. So before we let you go, anyone that I'd like to give a shout out to for this race here tonight?
I'd just like to say thanks to you guys for broadcasting. Thanks to John and the admin team for putting it on every Sunday night. Without them, I don't know what we'd be doing.
Well, definitely is entertaining. So we are going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations again, Ian Cornish, on your win for this week.
Okay, thanks, Gary.
Of course, a few complications for Ian Cornish, but that is internet for you, of course. So before we head off for this week, we'd like to once again thank again pretty much everybody for coming here and putting on a show for tonight. It's very, very entertaining and very, very fun to watch everybody put on a show for tonight. So as you see, Ian Cornish burn it down. We'd like to thank, along with MTR, for the Odyssians for sponsoring. Again, they are a, once we pull this back up again, they help out with, actually, the Odyssians is an adventure camping holiday for adults with disabilities, and they're always looking for helpers. Their next event is on August 24th to the 31st next year in 2019, and details are over at Odyssians.com. Once again, I believe they are UK based, so I don't think there's really anything here in the US, but I'm probably more than likely will get a word on that by next week, and I will put that out to everyone else. So just as a reminder for next week's race here in the MTR Truck Series, we have Iowa Speedway next week, and it's the last race for a while before we head down over to North Carolina for the Rockingham Series, or at least the AMA Series, their preseason series, 50 laps each, once in the Super Late models and then another in the Pro Cup Series. So keep an eye on that. Make sure to also keep up to date with us, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button to make sure you're notified about any future broadcasts with us. And just got an update that yes, they are UK based and they're a small charity as well, so thank you for that. Very, very appreciative of that information, and we'd like to thank everyone once again for tuning in to watch, and we will see you next week at Iowa Speedway. I have been Gary Weaver, and we will see you again next week at Iowa. Goodbye from Charlotte Motor Speedway.